What's up everybody, my name is Nate and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the weekly rotation series where I talk about what I wore last week, and I want to know from you guys, what did you wear this week? What stood out to you? It always helps me out when you guys are sharing your weekly rotation because I just put in a big order from Fragrance Buy, and I looked back at some of my old weekly rotation videos, 2 or 3, and I was scrolling through the comments to see what you guys are wearing, and a lot of the things really jumped out to me. I actually placed an order for a few different fragrances, myself included, from YSL, and then another one, exactly what it is, but those were what some people were wearing in the comments. So it always helps to kind of see what you guys are wearing because I can start smelling like you, and that's totally not weird at all. It might be a little weird, but regardless. On Monday, I did not know I was gonna wear this fragrance. I started out the day in a rush. I realized I had to be on the road driving to my job, driving to a job at 6:30 in the morning. So it was a little earlier than when I normally leave at like 7:30. So I was a little like runny out the doory, and I forgot to spray on a fragrance. I was gonna wear another one, but I have a few different little samples in my gym bag, and so I picked this one up. So this is Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. Prada Luna Rosa Ocean. This is the Eau de Toilette version. There is an Eau de Parfum version as well, and that one is fantastic. That one, I'm definitely wanting to pick up that one eventually here in the next couple years or so. And this is fresh, clean, musky, attractive, sweet, and it's got a caramel note in here. It doesn't come across as like a caramel sundae. It just comes across as kind of a sweetness to like counteract the musky element, so that it like brings up the sweetness of the citrus. It's a very nice aquatic fragrance. It's kind of musky, aquatic, citrusy. Very nice though. It has a beautiful kind of iris accord in here to give it kind of a powdery vibe, which I love. There's also sage and saffron in here. I just looked up the notes, but great stuff here. It doesn't really get heavily hyped, heavily pushed because it doesn't really perform all that well, and it's kind of smells kind of generic. But you know, generic colognes, generic fragrances usually get the most wear out of me because I typically just want to smell good and like just smell like all the other unique ones are great, but at the end of the day, I really just want to smell fresh, clean, and just nice to other people. I don't want to offend anybody really, because then you get into situations that like I was just in, and you know, when you speak your mind, you offend people apparently. I had a situation not too long ago, actually yesterday. I pissed somebody off so much that he said, "You don't even respect yourself." And I was like, whoa, I would encourage everybody to do this, but whenever you feel like when somebody insults you or when somebody like comes at you, you got to realize that it is just a reflection of them and how they're behaving. If you can pull anything from like somebody confronting you, yelling at you, or calling you names, it shouldn't bother you at all. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "Never take criticisms from someone you would never go to for advice." All right, then on Tuesday, I wore Dior Homme 2020, and this stuff is great. It's woody. I haven't worn it in a while. You can see the dent in it. I love it. But I haven't worn this one in a while, and I was quickly reminded at how amazing it is. It's super good. Like, once again, going back to the fresh and clean, kind of non-offensive, don't piss anybody off unless they're on the internet, but don't piss anybody off, smell amazing. This does it perfectly. Dior Homme 2020 is a fresh, clean, musky, cashmere, you know, really cedar heavy, sweet. It's got like an Ambroxan kind of smell. It honestly smells like if you took Sauvage and mixed it with like a lot of cedarwood and pink pepper. That's a stupid breakdown. It's nice. It smells like Sauvage in that kind of, you know, Ambroxan, peppery kind of smell. It's not a Sauvage clone, let me preface that, but it smells clean. It smells non-offensive. It smells boring. Let's just say that. It smells boring. You want to smell boring? Go with Dior Homme. Oh yeah, boring in a bottle. Now the next one is boring, but you know, I love it. I love the scent character. Hate the performance on it. I have a video coming out here in the next day or two, and you know, I love the fragrance, but I hate the performance. Anyway, this is Burberry Hero, and great stuff here. really good. This is the Eau de Toilette version. It's like a cedar balm. It's got a lot of cedar. It's clean cedar. It's got a musk vibe in there, but it's mainly citrus, pepper, and cedar. And that's pretty much it. And I'm torn about it because I love this scent character. This scent character is like my jam, but doesn't perform all that well. Like, I'm not joking when I say I get like 3 to 4 hours max. But I found this like hack, and I'm just probably gonna make something like this, but this is ISOE Super, and it's a musk mixture. They actually sell this in ambroxan form too, but I just got this from eBay or Amazon. I think there's a link in my description down below about it, but I made a video a long time ago when I had like 700 subscribers about this stuff, but basically what it does is it acts as a fixative. And if you know anything about perfumery, basically fixatives are glue that stick the fragrance to whatever you're spraying, your skin. It acts as a glue. And basically when you put a fragrance on top of it, it kind of sticks and it holds the fragrance there for a little bit longer than what you would normally get. So you say you get 4 hours with this, and you get 10% more performance. When you add this, you get an extra 40 minutes in that job. Now, I'm not good at math, but you know what I mean, because that doesn't make it 60 times 4. That's not math. That doesn't, if it's 60 times 4, it's 4 hours. That'd be like 240 and 10% of that. Anyway, regardless. So I don't get like beast mode with it, but I have a video coming out about it. And if you are interested in that, subscribe. All right, and then on Thursday, I wore this fragrance, and when I first got it, I was over the moon about it. But this is Asahi Silver Intensive Asahi Silver Fingerprint Magnet is what I like to call it. This is from Lattafa, and it gets compared a lot online to Blue Electric, and even I kind of saw the similarities a little bit. And I have to say, it's like totally not that. It has elements of it. I feel like there's a subtle nuance of like Lana Weed Alone, Blue Electric in here that give it the familiar DNA. But after smelling like Jack of Clubs, and I also have Poker Face by Ted Lapidus, you know, it doesn't smell anything like this. This is more of a Versace Eros mixed with like a fresh cardamom, like kind of lavender kind of vibe. Same thing you would get with Lana Weed Alone, but it's much more Eros meets like a fresher, clean, aquatic kind of designer fragrance. Think of in the terms of like Acqua di Gio Profumo or Profondo or YSL Eau de Parfum, that kind of thing. It's fresh, it's lively. This stuff is powerful too. So I remember I got a compliment with this thing. I was filming a house. I do real estate photography in my spare time, full-time job. But I was shooting the property, and there was a lady at the property, and she was the property manager or something like that. But she gave me a compliment on it. She said, "Whatever you're wearing is fantastic. Keep wearing it." And that was really nice of her. So, you know, it's not the best fragrance. You can buy this like for like 14 bucks online. It's not the most, you know, magnificent fragrance you can buy on the market. And I think, honestly, you should spend more than $14 on a fragrance, because I feel like fragrance has a, you know, a threshold that you should really kind of strive for, but mental psychology, never mind. It's nice, and it does get compliments. It's very powerful in the opening. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. It's very powerful in the opening. It doesn't really last all that long. I get like 6 to 7 hours with it. It doesn't really have like a noticeable dry down. It just kind of drops off. That's the only kind of downside with it, but it is pretty powerful in the beginning, you know, stages of the fragrance. Hopefully I'm making any sense. All right, Friday came around and I decided to wear something thicker and richer. Great combo. But it was snowing that day, and I decided to wear Tabac by Maison Alhambra. And this one was a heavy hype beast. For a brief period of time, this was a huge hype. Everybody and their mother was talking about it. And so it's like a tobacco, honey, peach kind of fragrance. Got this like old man kind of smell to it, mainly coming from the tobacco. And like there's like a green nuance in here, but it's kind of fruity sweet, and it's got a sweetness. There's a honey nuance in here that gives it kind of this sugary, sweet kind of honey kind of vibe. It's really smooth. It doesn't come across like sugar at all, like rough sugar. The texture I'm talking about, it's more smooth, creamy, like a honey would be. And then you get like a fruity nuance. I'm pretty sure it's plum. And then you get like an incensey quality that gives it off like a smoky vibe. I think it's Gaiac wood, but it's a smoky kind of element in here that gives it off this kind of like smoke woods. Excellent stuff, but it mainly is that peach, fruity, plum kind of smell. Plum or pear. Let me just look at them. Yeah, it's plum. Anyway, good stuff. I don't think it's a blind buy safe. This is definitely a unique style fragrance, but it's like if you want to smell like tobacco, fruity, smooth sweetness, this is a good fragrance. It's kind of difficult to wear if you're not familiar with kind of tobacco fragrance. One of the best tobacco fragrances I own, seriously. I don't want to diss it, you know, like if you're into fragrances, I think there's a difference. If you're into fragrances, try it out. If you're not into fragrances and you're just getting started, it might be a little challenging. All right, and then on Saturday, I wore Versace Eros Parfum. I really love this stuff. This is one of my favorite interpretations of the whole Eros vibe. It's just so good. It's got a beautiful amber note. It's so good. It's still got all the sweetness that you would expect with Eros. I think it's just a little bit more mature, grown up, and this one lays a little bit closer to the skin. A lot of people say that they don't get a lot of great performance with it. It's kind of just medium. It's not like beast mode, but good. It's good enough to stick around. Classic Eros DNA. It's sweet. It's got just amazingness in it. I love it. Some of the best stuff. I think the Parfum version is the best version of the whole Eros kind of vibe if you're interested at all. But if you want just like the best value for your fragrances and you're interested in the Eros DNA, I think just getting the original is the best option because you get like a big bottle for it for almost the same price as this, which I'm not saying that this is expensive by any means, but you can pick up a bigger bottle of the original because it's so universally loved and it's selling out everywhere, or until they release Eros Elixir, which most likely is coming. All right, and then today, I'm not really doing much other than recording for Paragon, so I'm not gonna really be spraying a whole lot of this on, but I wanna try out a little bit more of the Tom Ford Oud Mineral that I recently picked up. And this is a new release from Tom Ford. This is Oud Mineral from their private line. They put it into their signature line. And I feel like they're doing that with a lot of other releases. I saw a comment, someone said that they were gonna do that. They were gonna take the tobacco oud and put it into the signature line, which would be cool. And they should probably, I don't know, I'm not really well educated on the whole private line you know, stuff. So they probably have a bunch that they can put in the signature line. I'm shocked that they don't have the cherry version, Lost Cherry, in, you know, the signature line. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know in the comments down below your weekly rotation. I would love to hear your thoughts. Take care, and we'll see you next time.